Hi everybody. So today what we're going to work on are our spider webs. So you can see here that I made a spider web and I colored it in markers. And here I use this foil printing technique that I show in one of the other videos about how to add this tie-dye effect of color to my spider web. So you'll notice that this piece of paper is actually cut into a square. And the reason I cut it into a square is so that I would have a square spider web. The other thing is because I folded it, right? So I had my piece of paper. It was a regular rectangle. I folded it over like this, and then I cut off that section. That gave me the square. And for this particular one, you can see that I folded it like this and like this, and then I cut it down the center so that I could make a sort of diorama effect for my foil spider webs. That you can also find instructions for either on YouTube, look up tinfoil spiders, or I will have another video that will show you how to make a little bit of an easier one. This one is just done with 3 legs and it was pretty easy. The one with the, or I should say 6 legs, this one done with the 8 legs and the antenna, you know, some people had a little trouble with it, but look at the cool spider shadow you can make, okay? So those are all things you can try with it. I'm just going to give you the demonstration on how to draw the spider web. If you want to make a square, you fold it like this. You crease it. So you want to line this up like that. You want to crease it, and then you want to cut off that top section. So you can see in this one, I did a spider web radiating from the center. And this one, it's almost like I took that dot and I moved it up toward the corner so that it would look like it's almost like shooting out those webs. So you can decide which one you want to do. I'm going to show you both. The way you choose to color it will be up to you. So let's get ready to begin. So first thing is, if I'm going to draw a spider web with the dot at the center, I probably will choose to use a Sharpie just because I do not want to have the colors run together if I choose to use watercolor or even if I use markers. So first thing we're going to do is make a dot in the center of our paper. Notice mine's not perfect. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that dot up to the corner, down to the bottom, down to the bottom. This is just to avoid having to use a ruler. It's basically a line corner to corner. The center dot is where all the lines will converge. So now I made my horizontal line, and now I'll make my vertical line. You can see this is actually a good starting point for many other things like a firework or when you did the tie-dye name, how they kind of explode out from the center, a snowflake. But for today's purposes, also the optical illusion, we're going to be making the spider web using those curvy lines. So when we did the optical illusion, we started this way, but because we wanted to create that optical illusion, we skipped and we did every other one, like this. So I'm just refreshing your memory. And we go all the way down. Then for the optical illusion, we have every other one where the curved line goes this way. But for the spider web, they all go in the same direction. So the curves are all kind of bumping up toward the center. I turn my paper. It helps keep it pretty even. And you can do one section at a time, like I'm doing, or you can go around and do one in each section and spin as you go. Really up to you, your technique. Okay? So I'm going to keep doing that all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. And it's okay if they don't line up, but do make them go all the way over. Otherwise it will look unfinished. Here we go. And here. And you can go all the way to the end, or you can stop wherever you want, depending on how you want it to look. Some people also, if they're not making that diorama kind of effect, they like to actually cut off these pieces here, just leaving that little string attached to give it sort of another illusion. So once you're done with that, your choice is to either color it in, and you can color it in using your markers, similarly to the way I did it here. You can color it in here like I did with colored pencils or crayons, like I did here. Or you can do the tie-dye effect, which you can watch the video to see how this is done. All you need is a piece of aluminum foil about the size of the paper. You need your markers, and you need to wet your paper. You see how mine's curling? You wet your paper, you put it on the foil, you take a print, you get that nice tie-dye effect. So I'm going to show you now how to do the other one, the one that is coming off from the edge. Should be pretty easy, but certainly not a problem to demonstrate again. So that dot that I had in the center, I'm just going to move that dot over here. So what that implies is that the other part goes right off the page. So this is a way to do it from a different angle. I'm going to go down, going to go over, and I'm just going to add a bunch of different diagonal lines at different degrees. I say degrees because I'm thinking of it in terms of math, like 180 degrees, 360 degrees, not temperature, but sort of more like math. So again, we're going to do that idea of going down the line with that curvy line. And then instead of just keep going in that direction, you have to kind of turn your paper again so that it looks more like a spider web. So the first part actually looks like those when you draw birds, like that. You always want to kind of turn your paper to give you that illusion. And so I'm going to go all the way. And the funny thing about this is that while you're doing this, you can actually see how it could lend itself to a lot of other things. It could be an upside down fan, or the underneath of an umbrella, or even the tips of a pencil if you wanted it to. I wouldn't do as many of these curvy lines if I was making this into tips of pencils, but that's just another illusion you can look at it for. So I'm going to go down as far as I choose and continue turning. You'll notice that if you turn it, it looks more realistic than if I kept going all the way down. Like if I get like that and that would not work. It has to kind of work its way over to the side to look more realistic. You can put as much space between the sections of the spun web. I'm just going to stop there for now. You can go all the way down with this. Same idea. You can leave it flat. You can color it with anything you like. See, you can make a nice shadow with your spider if you want to have light source coming from above. So those are the two types of spider webs you can make for your project. How you choose to put it together will be up to you. If you make it into a square like this, you're going to fold it once. It's almost like a diamond fold. Down into a triangle, over into a triangle. You'll cut only one little section up one of those lines, and then you can turn it into more of a diorama for whatever you choose to put in there. Okay? All right. Good luck with your spider web.